So today's class, again, we'll discuss the remaining few classes of molecules. And today we'll have this concluding class on the fragmentation pattern of different molecules in EIMS. Okay. So if I just recall that in the last discussion, what we had was the fragmentation of particularly carboxylic acid and amine based on different R groups attached to the carbonyl carbon, okay, for carboxylic acid, and similarly the R of the amine, whether it is aliphatic, short chain, long chain, or some aromatic like benzene ring. So today what we'll do is we'll try to cover the remaining classes of molecules like amide, nitriles, nitro-compounds, and if time permits, we'll also quickly go through the halo compounds. Now regarding halo compounds, we have already come to know, particularly for bromo and chloro, what you have seen, you will have the different type of spectra, I mean the spectrum nature, I mean you have the M+2, M+4, M+6, that type of peak you will be expecting near about your molecular ion peak, right? So that way you have the completely distinct nature. You can easily look at the spectrum and can quickly tell that this might be, I mean, having either chloro or bromo. Those nature you will not find for other different functional groups. Now, so if we talk about the fragmentation of amides, couple of things we have to consider. The mass spectra of amide usually show observable molecular ion peak. Okay, so that means amides are, it takes time to get fragmented. Okay, the molecular ion generally is a bit stable so that you can observe the molecular ion peak. Second is that the fragmentation patterns of amides are quite similar to those of what you have seen for ester and acids. Okay, so these are quite similar functionalities. You have the carbonyl carbon, and your reaction, your fragmentation route is being driven by the electron ejection from the lone pair of oxygen of the carbonyl functionality, C double bond O oxygen, and that's why you have similar type of fragmentation pattern that what we have discussed in the case of ester and acids. The presence of strong fragment ion having the peak M by Z value 44 is observable. Okay, in all types of amide non-substituted, N non-substituted is bare N. So NH2, if you have, what you will see is that this 44 peak value 44 you'll be having. And that is the characteristic of primary amide. Okay, so just looking at the mass spectrum, we can quickly tell you have 44 peak, so you can quickly tell this must be amide. Okay, it must be primary amide. So the peak arises from nothing but the alpha cleavage. So alpha cleavage is the main reason for which we'll be observing the M by Z as 44. Now let us look at how that M by Z 44 will be observed. So this is an example of primary amide where R can be other functional group. I mean the alkyl aryl or some other long chain. Those type of things you can imagine. Now, upon bombardment of electrons in EIMS, what you will see is that the lone pair existing on oxygen, that electron will be ejected and it will produce the molecular ion, which is dot plus, and this one you will be observing, because as I told, the fragmentation will take some time. Okay, unlike the other alpha cleavage we have seen, your fragmentation will take some time based on what is your R. Okay, so that R dependent. What is the R? If R is okay, quite stabilizing group which can stabilize the radical or cation, then your fragmentation will be fast. Otherwise, you will have the fragmentation process slower. Now you look at the primary fragmentation is the alpha cleavage. So you have the bond cleavage here, and that R generally comes as R dot, and this one will be plus. Okay, so if you cleave, one part will be plus, another part will be dot. So that means what you can write here, you have, okay, R dot, I'm writing here R dot, then another part I have to write as cation. So you have double bond O, you have NH2, and this will be a cation. Now this cation is resonance stabilized because you have N having dot lone pair, so that will be stabilizing, and that's how you are getting this one. Now this one is having M by Z is 44. Okay, so this particular cation you'll be observing in the spectrum. Now here I'll give couple of examples, and your job is to find out what are the peaks you'll be observing. Okay, now couple of example, like for simple molecule you have this is acetamide coming from acetic acid. Acetamide, you have this two molecule, okay, and you have another molecule, this one, benzamide. Okay, now tell me what will be the fragmentation. So here if you bombard with electron, you will be having, you do with me also, you try to do by yourself, and let us find out what will be the fragmentation. So this will, as usual, you will have this cleavage, alpha cleavage. So alpha cleavage, what it will give? It will give a methyl radical and that O double bond C double bond NH2 plus. Okay, so this is M by Z 44. You will be observing this methyl 15 radical. It will not have any signal. Now this can, you can write in the opposite direction also. You can have methyl plus, and this one is the radical. So you have O double bond C NH2, this radical. Okay, now what you will see is that this methyl cation having M by Z is 15. That one is not stable. It's not stable one. So this fragmentation, this particular opposite way of fragmentation will be very, very insignificant. Okay, so that's why your 15 peak will be very tiny, and you will have 44. So this, if you go for a mass spectrum, the major thing what you will see is this is abundance. Okay, percentage. This is your M by Z. So what you will see, the 15 will be very tiny, and you will have the base peak as 44. So this is 44. Okay, and you may have some isotopic related tiny peaks also here and there. So you have, like, as I told, like you will have very tiny peaks will be surrounding the main peak. So that generally arises from the isotopic abundance. So mostly here for acetamide, you will have that as the 44 as the base peak. Now, what you will see for this particular compound, can anybody try to find out what are the peaks you will be observing? So these two you do, I'm giving like maybe 2 to 3 minutes quickly. Okay, here one thing I forgot, for acetamide you should have the molecular ion peak too. Okay, so molecular ion peak, M peak will be there. Molecular ion peak will be there. Now you tell me what will be the situation for, this is compound 1, if I take, this is compound 2, compound 3, compound 4. Okay, so for compound 2, what will be the peaks? Can anybody quickly predict? Quickly, anybody did? What are the peaks?
Sir,
Yes.
one cherry butyl free radical.
Yeah, the one is butyl
Alpha
free
cleavage.
radical. Alpha cleavage is producing butyl free radical, tertiary butyl free radical. It's very, very stable. That's why the fragmentation will be here much more easier than the compound 1, right? And you will have the same 44 peak, O double bond C double bond N H2. That is obvious. That is the signature of amide reagents. Okay, so M by Z 44 will be there. Okay. Now, beside that, do you have any other peaks? Can anybody tell? Do you have any answer? Quickly.
Methyl and one.
So the easiest way is, whenever you will do fragmentation, you can always think of the opposite fragmentation. Okay, and you have to look at whether opposite fragmentation is stabilizing the cation or not. In this case, you can have butyl cation too. Tertiary butyl cation is very stable. Yes or no? And you have this radical.
Sir.
You have this radical CnH2, this radical, and this cation. So this cation is stable. M by Z is 57. Right? So you'll be expecting a strong peak at 57 too. So you'll have 44, 57. Okay, and you have one more peak which you can think about the beta cleavage. Methyl is coming out, methyl radical, like what you have seen for amide, right? Acetamide. So methyl radical can come out, and no, that will be difficult. That will be difficult because the alpha position cation will be difficult. Okay, alpha position cation will be difficult of carbonyl. So that route will not be there. Okay, alpha. So that cleavage, beta cleavage will not be there in this case. Sorry. So you have main peak is 44 and 57. Now, based on the molecular weight, what we can see, 44 is smaller, 57 is bigger. So 57, what it can do quickly, get converted to isobutene, okay, neutral, and it can release one H plus. So that means it's not going to change much. So you have H plus peak will not be traceable in mass spectrum. But 44 can survive and it can give the base peak. Okay, so you have here base peak is 44. So your main spectrum will be, for this case, you have 44. Okay, 44. 57 still will be much bigger. Okay, and what about the, so this is 57 I'm writing, this is 44 I'm writing. What about the molecular ion peak? Will it be bigger than acetonite, I mean the acetamide, or smaller than acetamide? Molecular ion peak? Who can tell? Molecular ion peak will be bigger or smaller than acetamide? Smaller, okay, smaller. This is molecular ion peak. Why smaller? Because here the fragmentation is much easier. The alpha cleavage is much easier than what we have seen for acetamide, right? Because beta radical is much more stable. So smaller molecular ion peak will be there, and you have associated some 1-2 unit small peaks will be nearby based on the isotopes. Okay, so that will be very, very tiny. Now, what will be the situation for this one?
Benzyl radical.
Yes, so you have benzyl radical. Benzyl radical will be there, CH2 radical, and you have the same thing, double bond C, double bond NH2. So this M by Z is 44. You'll be getting signature of amide. Now, do you have any other benzyl cation? Okay, so you'll get benzyl cation, CH2 plus, and this radical. Okay, so I'm not writing the radical. So benzyl cation will get that one. You have molecular weight. I mean the M by Z is how much? M by Z 91. So that M by Z will get as 91. Okay, and this 91 peak. Now you tell me what else you can expect. I mean, which one will be the base peak here? 91. Okay, this 91 is it is troponium. It can be converted to troponium. That is also aromatic. So this 91 peak you will be finding as the base one. Okay, and this 44 peak will be definitely there. Is quite big also. Okay, so 91 will be now the base, and 44 will be like this 44, 91, and you have molecular ion peak will be too tiny, okay, very, very small, because your fragmentation is now much easier. Okay, so this will be molecular, just you see the molecular ion. Okay, these are the peaks you'll be observing. So based on your substrate, the things will be there, but you will definitely see the 44 peak. This one, what is going to happen? Can anybody tell? Benjamin? Can you tell what is going to happen? So you have this we have done. So you have phenyl radical and that one, right? You have carbon NH2. This plus means it's stabilized. So you can have I'm writing upward side. The same thing, the 44 peak, right? So 44 peak will be there, M by Z 44, that will be there. And you have phenyl radical. And opposite, if you think you have phenyl cation and this radical, okay? But that route is difficult, right? So M by Z for phenyl cation, that is 77. So that peak will be very tiny because you have now the alpha cleavage, which is much restricted here. It's difficult. So that's why what you see among all these molecules, you have this one, the fourth one, having a highest molecular ion peak. Okay, so your molecular ion peak will be much bigger, and you have 44 peak as the base peak. Okay, and also you see 77 peak, which is very tiny. Okay, very tiny peak that you will observe. You got it? So this will be the differences. Now in question, in exam, many things can be asked. You can imagine, like from this discussion, I can ask, like I can give two compounds and I can ask which one will have higher molecular ion peak, means bigger molecular ion peak. Okay, which one will have the I mean the base peak for which one is what? Got it? That type of things can be there. Okay, so based on that you have to answer. You have to do fragmentation and find out. Now let us move one more point. Like once the carbon chain in the acyl moiety of an amide becomes long enough to permit the transfer of hydrogen attached to the gamma position, McLafferty rearrangement is going to happen. Okay, McLafferty rearrangement is going to happen. And the primary amide, the McLafferty rearrangement gives rise to the fragmented ions at M by Z 59. This is also, I mean, kind of signature that if you get 59 peak, that means you may think, okay, you have the amide having long chain. Okay, and also here you look at, if you have N-alkylated amide, so N-alkyl amides, then that analogs you will be having analogous peak M by Z will be 73 sometimes. I mean 73 if you have methyl substitute. If it is ethyl, 87. If it is propyl, 101. Okay. So the thing is, what is being told here, you have amide, and now you have alpha, beta, and gamma. So gamma position you have hydrogen. That means it can have McLafferty rearrangement. Okay, and that's why you look at here, it is undergoing McLafferty rearrangement to give this particular cation radical with the elimination of alkene, neutral alkene. Now this cation radical is having 59. Okay, for example, suppose you take this is, so you have here, if you look at the side chain, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 carbons are there. Okay, so if you count alpha, beta, gamma, so this position the hydrogen will undergo McLafferty rearrangement, and that will give rise to the this fragment. Okay, so what will be the other part? So you'll have the fragment here is COH, and you have double bond CH2 NH2. So this is your fragmented ion. Okay, so I am writing the dot plus here, dot plus, and the other part you have like already one carbon you have taken. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means you have CH2 1, 2, and now you have ethyl 3, 4. So this is hydrogen. Okay, this will be your 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. So this will be your neutral, and this is the neutral, and this is the radical cation. So this M by J will be having 59 peak in the mass spectrum. Okay, and what else you can have is always, you know, side chain, it can undergo fragmentation, hydrocarbon chain cleavage. Okay, that you can expect. So the methyl elimination, ethyl elimination, like you can have bond cleavage like this methyl elimination. You can have ethyl elimination. You can have propyl elimination. Okay, you can have butyl elimination. Get it? So that means this methyl cation signature, ethyl cation signature, uh, propyl cation signature, and butyl cation signature, that you will be finding. But this peak, since it is breaking the sigma bond directly, okay, the electron ejection from sigma bond is difficult. That's why these signals will be there for any long chain species, but that peaks will be smaller. It is not the primary route. So primary route will be the, in this case, the McLafferty. Okay, McLafferty rearrangement. Got it? And you have the propyl, the alpha cleavage. Alpha cleavage will be there, 44. So 44 peak will be also there. Okay, and corresponding this pentyl cation can also, you can expect. So those peaks you'll be having with smaller size. 44 will be a bit bigger now, but the major M by Z, I mean the base peak will be the 59. Okay, so that you have to note down here. Now what is told here, the 73, 87, 101, that you can understand from here. Suppose you have the structure like this, N substituted. So in R here, now if the R is methyl, okay, then this will be converted to what? You will have N methyl, okay, and then N hydrogen. So that will be your OH and double bond CH2. So that cation will be generated. So that cation is 73 because this is N-methyl. Okay. So what you are doing, you are subtracting 58 because hydrogen is replaced. So 58 and plus 15. So methyl is 15. So this is 73. Similarly, if R is ethyl, this is in the case of R is methyl. If R is ethyl, what you will have in case of methyl, you will have the ethyl here, and at that situation, what will be the mass? 58 plus ethyl is 29, so you'll have 87. Okay, and if R is propyl you will have 101, and this so on and so forth. This way it will be moving on. Okay, so hope this part is clear. Anything you have to ask? Do you have any queries? Did you get it? Is it clear now?
The last not clear, sir.
No, the last
73.
No, 73 means what I'm telling. Suppose your molecule is not the primary amide, it is N substituted amide. So N is having one R group. R is methyl. Okay, N methyl amide. Understood? In that case, what you will see? You will see instead of 59, the 73 peak will be there. Why? Your cation is now not what you have seen here. Your cation will be changed. Your hydrogen, one hydrogen will be replaced by methyl. Got it? And that will be, this is your cation, and that cation is having M by Z is 73. So you'll have the peak 73. So based on what is the R group attached on nitrogen, that R will be having the impact. I mean, that has the signature. So you will have, if it is methyl, you will have 73. If the R is ethyl, you will have 87. If R is propyl, you will have 101. Okay, that type of observation you will be finding. Got it?
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, so now we'll be moving to nitriles. Aliphatic nitriles usually undergo fragmentation so readily. Okay, I mean its fragmentation is obvious. It will undergo a nice fragmentation. That the molecular ion peak will be too tiny. Okay, molecular ion will be weak. It will be difficult to observe. Okay, most of the cases. However, most nitriles form a peak due to the loss of hydrogen atom. Okay, so that means you will have M minus 1 peak. Did you get it? You will have M minus 1 peak, producing an ion which is this one. Okay, this one. So R CH double bond C double bond N. That ion you will be observing. Although this peak may be weak, it is usually diagnostic peak or for characterizing the nitrile. Means you have M minus 1 peak will be there for nitrile compounds. Say suppose this nitrile, okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you have pentyl here. Pentyl group is present, so that nitrile. Now this nitrile, you have the fragmentation. You can write in this way, and it will undergo so the nitrile here, it will undergo 6-membered transition state during the fragmentation. So what you have seen for McLafferty rearrangement is the same thing. So you have hydrogen here, so that will move. Okay, and you have this fragmentation. Got it? This fragmentation. So what you see here is you'll have this dot plus here, and this will be your neutral molecule, and this will contribute the M by Z, and that is shown here. So you have this one, this is the thing. Okay, you have no, this is not the, this is the McLafferty. This is okay, this is not the thing. This is McLafferty, that one was the hydrogen elimination. Okay, so you will have this M by Z. Now depending on compound, this will be, I mean this will be varying. Okay, but you will have always m by z this one. Okay. Now this one m by z is 41. Okay, 41. That McLafferty will be giving as the peak. So in this case, 41 will be getting as the major peak. Okay. Now if you look at here, the molecular ion, you have the molecule having mass of I mean the 97. So 97 is very tiny. You are getting 96 peak, the signature m minus 1 peak. This is m minus 1 peak. And since you have a long chain, so you will have the option of methyl, ethyl, propyl. This will be coming out, and that options will be always there. Okay, so you have 15 minus. So if you look at, like, you will have 15 minus, you will have 29 minus. So this is minus 15. This is minus 15. So m minus 15. This is m minus 29. So this region, okay, so that peaks you'll be getting m minus. This way you will be having ethyl, methyl, propyl that will come out. You will have the signature. Okay, but the major thing, if you look at, you have 41, which is arising from the McLafferty root. Okay, McLafferty root. So this is the situation for nitrile. Now, the strongest peak in the mass spectrum of an aromatic nitrile is the molecular ion peak. Okay, for aromatic nitrile, it's very, very difficult because you have the CC bond cleavage is happening between the sp and sp3. I'm sorry, sp and sp2. That bond is you have to break. Okay, it's very difficult, and there is no option. So the loss of cyanide occurs, giving the case of benzonitrile, the loss of cyanide will be happening, and it will produce the phenyl radical, which is having 77. But this phenyl radical is very difficult to stabilize, and the phenyl cation is very difficult to stabilize, as well as the radical too. And cyanide radical is also not that much preferable. It's not that much stable too. So more important fragmentation involves the hydrogen cyanide. Okay, so in this case, if you look at, you have the benzonitrile. This is forming after bombardment, and now you have 77 peak here due to the phenyl cation, and we have phenyl radical and nitrile CN triple bond cation, and that is not it's not stable. It doesn't form anyway. So that's why this will not be there. The major, what we think, we have the elimination of HCN here, okay, because this is gas, it can come out. So taking one hydrogen from this center, okay, you have hydrogen. This molecule after bombardment, you have high kinetic energy, and that will lead to the fragmentation. So HCN can come out, okay, and that gives rise to the 77 peak. Okay, so that what we see is that the major peak here, the base peak will be the molecular ion peak, as told at the beginning, and you will have 76 peak will be the considerable amount size, and 77 you have very tiny amount of peak. The nitro, quickly I'll finish the nitro group. Yes. Any queries?
In case of why ion peak is the base peak?
Because this fragmentation is not possible, right? You are understanding or not? To get the molecule will not undergo the fragmentation easily, because all of these roots are not the welcome. It's not welcomed, right? Are you following or not? There is no stability at all. This phenyl radical you cannot stabilize. The cyanide radical, phenyl cation not stable. Cyanide radical not stable. This benzene type intermediate not stable. This phenyl radical not stable. Cyanide cation, this CN triple bond cation not stable. Okay, so ultimately all the roots of cleavage are not they are all difficult. So before undergoing fragmentation, what can happen? This molecule, this one can reach to maximum amount of this can reach to the detector, and that will give you the base peak. You follow the point, right? What I told.
Okay.
Yes. So fragmentation of nitro, the molecular ion peak of an aliphatic nitro compounds is rarely observed. The mass spectrum is the result of fragmentation of the hydrocarbon part of the molecule. So in nitro case, what happens? Most of the cases, the fragmentation, we observe the peak due to the hydrocarbon R group, okay, organonitro system. So R group will be producing the peaks. You have the signature here. So nitro compounds may show the moderate peak of M by Z is 30, which corresponds to nitrosyl cation. So nitrosyl ion that is having 30 M by Z value, and a weaker peak at 46, which is due to the NO2 plus. Okay, that can also happen. These are the signature peak, and these peaks appear in the mass spectrum of 1-nitropropane. So 1-nitropropane, if you observe in EIMS, what you will see is that the intense peak, because it's 1-nitropropane, so propane means propyl group can come out, and nitro radical can be there, NO2 radical, and you have 43 propyl, so that is stable. It can be converted to this one. Initially, it will be like this propyl, which will be converted to this one. This hydride can transfer. So this one is 43 M by Z. So that will be stabilized. So that will be getting us the base peak. Okay. So here 43, you see.
Sir,
Yes, tell.
sir, signature peak.
Signature peak means these compounds, yeah, these compounds, you will have, those peaks will be always there. Any nitro compound means you will be having this 30 peak, okay, this 46 peak. Are you getting? Those peaks are the signature peak because we call those peaks are arising from the exact functionality. So NO2, from there you are having the NO plus, NO2 plus. Are you getting? If you have the nitro compound, what you can expect from the functional group? Functional group is the nitro. Nitro can give out the NO plus. Nitro can give out the NO2 plus. Okay. So that any kind of organonitro compound, if you do mass spectrum, you'll be expecting, since you have the nitro group, you'll be expecting the NO plus can come out as, so that M by Z you'll be having. NO2 plus can come out, that M by Z you'll be having for all the nitro compounds. So that's why I'm saying that signature peak. Okay. So this 30, this is due to the NO.
Yes.
It will be always for all the nitro compounds, irrespective of R. Are you getting? Irrespective of R, you will have the peaks due to this group will be always there. And what are those peaks? You will have 30 peaks, that is due to this one, NO plus. Okay, that will be having 30. You have NO2 plus, that will be having 46. I'm getting. So those peaks will be always there for all the nitro compounds. That's why we call it the signature. Okay. And yeah, so this is the situation. You'll be having these peaks. Aromatic nitro compound, now it is difficult to break, right, nitro group. So the characteristic, this NO and NO2 plus peak will appear the mass spectrum, that will be there always. The principal fragmentation pattern, however, involves loss of all or part of the nitro group. Okay, that is that already told here. So let us look at this nitrobenzene. So what you are seeing, the cleavage is difficult. It's not, you have the C here, sp2, right? So that bond is stronger, so the cleavage is difficult. That's why you have bigger molecular ion peak with respect to the aliphatic nitro. Okay, and here the 77 you are having because you have the NO2, okay, that radical can come out and it will be producing pH plus. Okay, so NO2 gas you can think, and that pH plus. So pH, this is due to the pH plus. So, and from there the other signature, other pH plus you have seen in that at the beginning I told it can, I mean, it can have other bond cleavage. So let us look at quickly this nitro. You have 77. Now this 77 you have acetylene is coming out. You are having this C4 system 51, and here the NO radical will be producing this cation, this 93, and this is tiny. So these are all very, very unstable compound. Okay, that's why the 93 will be very tiny, and from there the carbon monoxide, when the CO will be there, always the carbon monoxide has a chance to come out, and you have 65. That's that signature. Okay, that signature. So 51 and 65. Why 51 is bigger? Yeah, 51. I mean, you have, this is the cyclopentadienyl cation formation will be tough, and even this oxygen plus cation, this generation is also tough. So ultimately this route will be not preferred. Ultimately the main peak here for benzo system, the base peak and the molecular ion peak, that will be observable. I'll just take 2 minutes for halo compounds because this is not so much difficult. Here some basic fragmentations are there. Quickly, alkyl halides may lose the molecular hydrogen, molecule of hydrogen halide. So HX can come out. Okay, so this is the halo compound. What can happen? The radical cation generation, and then you have HX is coming out. So you have here hydrogen, okay, CH2, so you have hydrogen here, so that hydrogen can fall and this can come out, so it will be generating the this cation radical. Okay, this mode of fragmentation is most important of alkyl fluoride and chlorides, is less important for bromide and iodide. This is one thing. Fluoride, chloride, they can easily undergo this fragmentation due to the acidic property. I mean, this more electron withdrawing property. Getting that makes this hydrogen to be more acidic and can easily fall. This bond will be weaker. Less important mode of fragmentation is alpha cleavage. So you cannot expect the alpha cleavage, but that is not so important. But you should know the mechanism. You have the alpha cleavage. This is the carbon and R that can be cleaved. Okay, and R can come out as radical, and you have this cation. But this will be tiny. The peak will be smaller. When the alpha position is branched, the heaviest alkyl group attached to the alpha carbon lost with greatest facility. So that means, suppose this R, I mean this CH2, you have the C and X, and you have suppose a different group, okay, R1, R2, R3. So what is told here, the group which is more bulkier or more heavy, that will undergo cleavage. Okay, suppose your R3 here is heavier than R2 than R1. So what you see is that R3 will come out as the radical. Okay, so this radical, and the other part will be the cation. So that will be observed in the mass spectrum. But the peak, as it is told, the alpha cleavage is not the major fragmentation route. So that will not be, I mean, you will have the very little peak there. For long chain, okay, the fragmentation will be based on the McLafferty type. Okay, so here you have, now see McLafferty generally what we have seen for, like you have unsaturation there. Okay, but here there is no unsaturation. Your radical mediated route, so you have 5-membered ring formation. There you remember it was 6-membered. Here it will be 5-membered. So that will be happening. So you have R will be coming out, and this cation will be there. Okay, the corresponding cyclic ion can be observed as 135, 137 in the mass. 135, 137. Why? Because this cyclic is having the halo atom. Okay, so in the mass spectrum, one bromo halothane at m by z 105 and 107 in the mass spectrum, and two chloropeptane. So two chloro. These two 135 on 137. If your X is bromo, if X is chloro, you'll be having 105 and 107 for the hexane system. Okay, so one bromo or one chlorohexane or heptane. So that just need to do the calculation and you'll be finding. So such fragmentation is more important in the mass spectrum for long chain chlorides or bromides. Okay, so molecular ion peaks in the mass spectrum of benzyl halides are usually of sufficient intensity to be observed. Most important fragmentation involves loss of halogen to confirm the C7H7 plus ion when the aromatic ring of the benzyl halide carries substituents. Okay, a substituted phenyl cation may also appear. The molecular ion peak of the aromatic halides is usually quite intense, and the most important mode of fragmentation involves the loss of halogen to form the benzene and phenyl radical. So this is talking about the some benzyl. Okay, so pH CH2X and pH X. Okay, these two situations, what will happen? For this one, nothing can be done, only this cleavage. This one, this will be the major one. Okay, so that is told here. Okay, so this is the all about your different classes of molecules. For halogen only, you have to remember you'll have M plus 2, M plus 3, M plus 4, M plus 6. Those type of peaks will be nearby. Okay, so you go through, and if you have any queries, we'll be discussing later on. Okay, so I think you are getting late, so I'm stopping here. Okay, thank you for attending today's class.
Sir.
You, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.